Alrighty, I'm back. I told you guys I was doing an Uncharted review. I saw it last night. I slept on my thoughts. There's not a whole lot to unpack from it, but it was started out, it was a fucking awesome time at the movie theater. It was really fun. I saw it with my buddy. The whole time he kept leaning over and saying it's like the funnest, best cash grab he's ever watched, and that's a good way to put it. This movie is a cash grab in a way. It's a big budget studio movie starring Sony sweetheart Tom Holland, and it was really cool to see him kind of dive into Nathan Drake. He really captured the spirit. I thought he was just going to do the Peter Parker shtick and be just charming, cutesy, clumsy Tom Holland, but he's actually more cunning, more deceptive, but he's still a little naive, and they play on that. Sully, played by Marky Mark, is, if you play the games, it doesn't really make sense why they picked him. He was originally going to be Nathan Drake. This movie's been in development for like 10 years, and I guess when you think about it like that, it's sad that this was our final product, but I never really thought it has it's textbook for like, it has the blueprint of being a really good movie because the games play out as a movie, and this is not as effective as the games. You could turn on the cinematic for any game, any Uncharted game, and get a better experience, but it still was a fun time. It was a good Hollywood version of this story. The only one I've ever played, I'm kind of a casual. I played the fourth one, and they do a good job at capturing some of the elements from that with the orphanage and Sam. And that's the thing, they take stuff from all the games and kind of clutter it and put it out of order. Certain characters, Chloe, she was in Uncharted 2, I'm pretty sure. I never played that one, but I've seen some of the clips. And then there's other things that it's kind of sprinkled in there. And for something, if they're going to do that, they could have took the best moments from the games, which they tried, but their real selling point was that aerial scene in the trailer. And it was really good. It was effective. There's been better ones. If you saw Mission Impossible Fallout, Tom Cruise really jumped out of that fucking plane and did a halo jump. He didn't really get hit by lightning, but still, that was pretty awesome. There's been better halo jumps, but speaking of Tom Cruise, Tom Holland is like a new Tom Cruise, and I kept thinking it this whole movie. He's just so charming and likable, and he's very like persistent with the action. He throws himself in it, and his stunt work in this was really impressive. He did more parkour in this. That was my water bottle. It scared the shit out of me. But he did more parkour in this than he did in Spider-Man, because a lot of those movies are all CGI, rubber computer Tom Holland running around, and he could actually be doing it, and that's what kind of upsets me about the Spider-Man franchise. But this isn't a Marvel video, even though it is Tom Holland in this movie. But other than that, the worst part is Antonio Banderas as the villain. It's just like fucking dialogue dumps of straight, like they just like took villain lines from anything you could think of and just put them in the most simplistic way. He speaks in a different accent. And I was just found myself not even paying attention to the subtitles at points. I was like, this is a very boring performance from him. But he looks menacing, so I guess for kids, it can strike kids really well because they see this guy's face and they're like, ooh, there's a villain. If you're really looking at it for looking deeper into it, it's not going to give you much. Other than that, there's not really much to say. It was a good time though. I was like not that excited, so it delivered for me, but if you were really waiting for this movie, then this might not be the best version. I would recommend watching the short film with Nathan Fillion. He's like a more underrated actor, and he looks just like Nathan Drake. It's almost like they based that character on him, you'd think. And that's who everybody wanted to play this character, and he even did a short film, the actor did. It's on YouTube. It's really impressive. He captures Nathan Drake perfectly. They like go hand in hand, so I don't know, the casting's weird. Tom Holland's great though. I'm excited for the next one. They set up, there's a little scene right after the movie ends, kind of a post-credit scene, I guess. Thankfully you don't have to wait for credits though. It just shows the title and then goes into another scene. But yeah, it sets up, and I'm excited. Whenever they announce another one, I'm going to be following the news and hoping they improve on things. Mainly Marky Mark. Sully is a very layered character they could do a lot of fun things with. But it's just Marky Mark doing his regular shtick. He's just, hey man, you want to do this treasure? You want to come with me? Like, just very annoying. Hey kid, come on. Stuff he does in all his comedies, and then even some of his other movies, where it's just that sarcastic guy humor. It's a real guy's guy. And to a certain point, it's like Sully's not that. and he already doesn't look like him, so it didn't help that he was just playing himself. I wanted more from him. But either way, it's still, they have great chemistry. It's fun as hell watching them play around with each other. Movie's very predictable. It's not that surprising. Goes on a little too long. I found myself checking out a few times, but all in all, I think you should go see it. Until Batman, there's a few more weeks. This is all we really got. As far as video game movies go, this doesn't break the stigma. There hasn't been a phenomenal one other than Detective Pikachu. I think that movie's underrated as hell. It really did a good job at expanding on the games and mixing it with a Hollywood template story. This was just another, like, it just kind of does like what other video game movies do. They take the inspiration from the characters, put big stars in there, and give it very simple plot derivatives, and put these characters in locations from the game. And that's really all it was. But there's enough charm, enough star power on screen to keep you locked in and to entertain you. So yeah, if I had to give it a star rating, I would probably do 2 stars. It's like skippable. Not going to remember too much of it, but it did show more to Tom Holland. I like watching this guy's career blossom, so it was cool seeing him play somebody more wisecracking, I guess. Spider-Man already jokes a lot, but he's a little more of a man in this one, so I like that. Entertainment value, though, I'll give it a 3. It's definitely like a good movie to just go and watch, turn your brain off for. So it wasn't complete trash like it could have been, and I thought it would have been because it took so long to get made. It was a very easy watch movie, so yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys for my next review.